Hello there. This is your girl, Miss B, and welcome to the Babe Cave. Like as you come in, please, and thank you. And if you have been here before, welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't been here before, welcome. Please make sure you like this video, like I just said before, and shout out to my mods and my subscribers. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Now let's get back into the business. Hello there. Y'all know I never go live this late, but like I said, I'm trying to stay consistent, build my watch hours. And there was something that I was watching, and I figured I might as well share it with you guys. This is not a drama live. I don't have no commentary. This is strictly me watching real things that's going on in the world that other people should be aware of. And I'm gonna just press play, let it play, and when I'm done, and I'm getting off there. So thank you to anybody that stops by right now at the moment, because that is what I'm on. I'm not on any drama.
It's intentional. Charlie Kirk Memorial was something to remember. And this is going to make me remember forever. It was some other things that was going on too. Y'all got to understand, Charlie Kirk Memorial brought all these people together, even the people that had beef. Just so many things happening at this memorial. It was crazy to see. But the highlight of the memorial was Erica Kirk. R.I.P. to Charlie Kirk. I feel like Erica Kirk will be a good actress. Can't y'all see her playing like on a movie or a TV show or some shit? I don't know about y'all, but I can see it. Am I tripping? But this, y'all, highlight of the night. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments. This shit is crazy, fool.
Yeah, so Republicans in Israel might have shot themselves in the foot with this Charlie Kirk thing, because Erica Kirk's story is coming out and the Republicans are freaking out over it. So if you don't know what's going on, Charlie Kirk's wife won Miss Arizona, a beauty pageant, when she was, I think, 17. She had never contested before. Someone just told her, hey, you could be a beauty pageant. And guess what company she worked for? Guess who she worked for as in the beauty pageant? Donald Trump. Right after she won the beauty pageant, she ended up creating a Christian ministry that works with children and went to go work with the Romanian government. So now you have all these conservatives on TikTok and on Twitter asking, what kind of power does a 17-year-old have to create a Christian ministry to go work with the Romanian government, to go for orphans? Now, here's the funny thing. At the same time that her ministry was in Romania working with the Romanian government, Romania went through a massive case of children missing. So the Romanian government kicked her, like her Christian organization that was in Romania to help Christian babies. The Romanian government told her to get the fuck out of the country because something just doesn't add up. Because her ministry is linked with too many children going missing. So now, I swear, go on TikTok, go on Twitter right now, search Erica Kirk. That's all you'll see. Everyone is talking about how the fuck she was 17. She won a beauty pageant under Trump's agency. And then right after she won the beauty pageant, she went to Romania, started working with children. Children started going missing, and the Romanian government kicked her out.
Now, do y'all find that to be strange or what? Like, what 17-year-old that had pulled like that?
Not to be strange.
And look, shit is weird. But look, I say this: if y'all are into this to be involved in like a race war or Democrat versus Republicans, then you're in the wrong place, because neither side cares about us. We're in this shit together, y'all. So I don't get the whole like baiting for different types of arguments with each other when we should really be focused on what they're doing behind the scenes and the legislation they're passing. You have to understand, after, if like say,
Dre, they too busy arguing on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Spaces, IG. They too busy doing dumb shit on the internet to be paying attention to what's really going on in the world. Let's go.
For instance, if they wants to get rid of like for instance all of the Mexicans, right? After they get done with that, they're gonna start to try to get somebody else in the next group, in the next group, until we're all gone. But let's keep going though. It's crazy.
Online, but haven't been prosecuted or even in some cases investigated. That's right, you heard me, child pornography. As many as 1,700 names, according to a U.S. Senator, on a list of 5,200 from an internet sting operation overlooked the first time around 4 years ago. Pentagon porn story began in 2006. An Immigration and Customs Enforcement child pornography sting operation called Project Flicker produced payment records of about 5,200 people, many of whom provided Army or fleet zip codes or military email addresses. Subsequently, the Pentagon's investigative branch, DCIS, began going through the ICE list to identify who actually was a DoD employee or a contractor. The investigation, however, only ran for 8 months and only cross-checked some 3,500 names for Pentagon ties, according to a senator. Out of that 3,500, investigators uncovered 264 employees or contractors.
The Vatican is the long-standing procurer of children for the elite. It turns out that drinking children's blood is an anti-aging device. This is just really sick and disgusting, but it's a fact. It's a chemical fact. And if you drink adrenalized children's blood, this is a doubly effective anti-aging device. It's gone on throughout history. This is not, the Catholic Church is all about power over people. The Catholic Church is all about, we'll tell you what to think, don't think for yourselves. And the same is true of all religions that have dogma, okay? Any religion with dogma is a false religion. It's a false God. God is us. God is in we, the cosmos, and we do not need a religion to be good human beings that advance to the next level of civilization. So religions right now are part of the deep state. They're part of the control mechanism.
Charlie, I love you.
Erica Fronste, Arizona.
They're accused of training children in crime and sending them west.
We as American people deserve to have every Epstein file released.
That's where I disagree with Charlie. I hate my opponent. Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
Well, I think they gotta make this stuff.
And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
Gen X and millennials. There's a movie a friend of mine brought up that we need to discuss.
This whole thing is just a show. It's just a play. It's just scripted. How many times are they going to do these things right in front of our faces and people are going to continue to go for it? I think that most people don't want to believe these things, and it happens right in front of our face. They don't want to believe it because they don't want to feel uncomfortable. But you can find some comfort in being together with us, the people on the ground, boots on the ground with you. No matter what, we in this shit together. We stuck together. We're all married together right now.
Y'all remember I Am Legend, right? New York City with the zombies and all that. Well, there's some weird things going on that I didn't realize the majority of people didn't know. So keep this movie in mind. Well, this happened back in May. World's first patient treated with personalized CRISPR gene editing therapy to help a kid with a rare genetic disorder, right? Great. Everybody wants a healthy kid. Well, this is world's first because it's the world's first legal gene editing. That's after this guy announced he did it back in 2018 and actually went to jail for it.
Really mind-blowing because this brings up a lot of moral and ethical questions. So a Chinese scientist helped create the world's first genetically edited babies. He is going to jail. His name is He Jiankui of China. He is going to prison for 3 years for carrying out what the Chinese government says were illegal medical practices.
Now, since that incident in 2018, gene editing kind of got put on the back burner and not really talked about until here recently. Naturally, Silicon Valley took an interest to the whole thing again. Now, remember the opening clip to I Am Legend? Let me show you.
Designed by nature and reprogram it to make it work for the body rather than against it. We're talking about virus. Indeed, yes, in this case, the measles. We have 10,009 clinical trials in humans. So how many are cancer-free? 10,009. So you have actually cured cancer. Yes. Yes, we have.
Kathy Tai, Canadian entrepreneur and bioinformatician. If you don't know what that is, like myself, it's a scientist who blends biology, computer science, and informational technology to interpret biological data. Kathy also funded her own genetic screening company, just like 23andMe. But here's where it gets weird. Kathy's also only one of 4 Canadians that got funding back in 2015 from Peter Pan here. You know, this guy. But that's not the only person that you're gonna recognize. See, Kathy married the Chinese Frankenstein, the guy from the beginning of the video. Now, Kathy started her own gene editing project. And what did she call it? The Manhattan Project.
Well, damn.
We use precision gene correction to address inherited disease at its source, the embryo, before it can affect future generations. If you don't know, the Manhattan Project is what led to the creation of the atomic bomb and for wiping out almost 250,000 people. And if that wasn't bad enough, it's intentional. We chose our name deliberately. We believe the scale of our mission to end genetic disease is just as significant as the Manhattan Project. And not only that, but they started doing these things in labs in Manhattan, which was ground zero for I Am Legend. It's like this movie is just getting ready to play out.
That's crazy.
It's just too many coincidences for me. But let me know what you think. Stay safe.
I like, look, y'all. That's a little, that's a little much. But I tell you this. I mean, I think I told y'all this years ago, but I used to be like in like security or some real like top level stuff that you would never see, right? We did have protocols for zombie apocalypse, but I was thinking at the time that, you know, if we have a zombie apocalypse, okay, they're gonna be the slow zombies. But if they I Am Legend zombies, it's over. It's a wrap, bro. We all gonna get turned. We all gonna be running up buildings and hiding from the sun in the daytime, breathing all heavy and fast and shit in circles. It's over for us, bro. Like we're not prepared for that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Real quick. Now, I'm not saying everything in these videos are true. But what I'm saying is a lot of this stuff can be proven if you do the deep dive and you watch more of these type of videos. It's real stuff going on in the goddamn world, bro. And I'm just on a different time right now. And I watch this every night before I go to bed. His name is OG Dre Reacts. I watch his videos almost every night whenever he drops these videos, and I'm very intrigued by the things that I see in these videos. After we watch this video, I'm going to also show y'all another woman that I watch that talks about portals. Because I do believe that portals are real. I do believe that. If you are stopping in, please make sure you like this video and please make sure you subscribe to OG Dre Reacts. Hey, OC girl, you know I'm up late, girl. I'm just watching some real life stuff that's going on in the world, a little bit of conspiracy theories, and then after I watch that, I'm gonna watch a video about portals being in Georgia. So yeah, thank you for coming by, boo.
That dude give me anxiety. How about y'all?
They all look weird to me. All these government people look weird to me, especially these days. Yeah, OC girl, I'm still up. I don't know why. I don't know why. But this is why I can't wait to go back to work, girl. But this is this type of stuff that I really do be watching that intrigues me. Y'all know how YouTube do when people make videos, certain videos get muted. So this is why it's muted. Oh, you was, girl? I was over there at Cam's. I forgot that I even had scheduled that damn live. But we definitely gonna get into bum activities tomorrow. This is when comedy used to be able to really be comedy.
Some of y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't know nothing about the knobs on the TV when it make that sound. You got two of them. One turned off, one to change stations. Real talk. Some of y'all young cats don't know nothing about that.
It's called
But let me get this straight. Just today, Trump announced a global AI system to fight biological weapons?
That really did annoy me. That really did annoy me too. That's why I said, you know what, let me go on and watch my nerdy stuff that I'll be watching. And then I just said, you know what, I need to watch hours. I need to watch hours on Twitch, so I might as well just watch this while I'm up and get my watch hours. I couldn't do no more.
One of the great things ever, but it also can be dangerous, but it can be put to tremendous use and tremendous good. And this would be an example of that.
Do you really think an AI identification layer for the whole world stays just for bio threats, or is it laying a groundwork for an all-encompassing digital ID system and surveillance, or even the mark of the beast?
But it also can be dangerous.
I don't know. Let me know what you think.
Thank you. Yes.
So what they've done is through the injection, they put nanobots in the form of graphene oxide and hydrogel into your bodies. And you literally, as these interface with the brain cells, this causes you to become a receptor, a receiver, and a transmitter of signals. And these can be picked up externally, and externally you can be manipulated. And this is what DARPA has done, the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency of the Defense Department. They're working on mind control of soldiers by implanting them with graphene oxide. This is well documented in the scientific journals, and there's companies that, like in brain neuroelectronics, which uses graphene oxide to interface with the brain to create a receptor and a transmitter to be able to control people's behavior. That's where we're going. That's transhumanism.
They have now actually created a term for fully and fully boost people. They're now calling them homobiogenesis, homoborggenesis, instead of Homo sapiens.
Homoborg's like a cyborg.
Like a cyborg, B-O-R-G, Homo Borg Genesis. So the new creation of a Borg type of group of people that we can move them into the transhumanism movement and hook them up to the Internet of Things and to the Internet of Bodies, and we can train them to be androids. And then the people that survived it but got really, really sick.
Because to them, you're a cockroach. Let me digress for a moment and talk about the horrifying videos that you've seen of people who suddenly die by planking, by just falling over in one piece. Typically, they either look around in perplexity because they're obviously hearing.
Girl, you'd be surprised the things that this man be posting.
These people that you see on the videos are in China, but not all of them. And China has a very, very high rate. I believe that these are experimental deaths to see if the pulsed microwave 5G system, soon to be replaced by the 6G system, is effective in eliminating those who are targeted for that elimination. If they're willing to do this to us, what else are they willing to do to us? You saw how people were locked into their homes and welded into their homes in China. That's only the beginning. That's only the beginning. What can we do? Well, the very first thing we could do is, instead of looking at the tentacles of the octopus that is coming toward us, to mix metaphors, the Death Star, which is also an octopus, instead of doing that, we need to go for the very heart of the system that is intending to harm and enslave us, kill and enslave us. And right now, that Death Star has a very, very clear, observable name. It's called the World Health Organization, which should be called the World Holocaust Organization.
Do y'all hear what the fuck is going on out here?
I don't listen to conspiracies. I listen to myself. Something ain't right.
Something ain't right. And it ain't been right.
And I've been feeling it for a while. I just been scared to talk about it because people brought their followers. A lot of people are sheep.
Yep.
And you want this type of frequency, baby, you can feel it. This ain't no conspiracy.
It's not. Just like the fake meat.
God, this is called discernment.
Yep, 5G. Yep. Exactly, OC girl. Exactly. I feel like that 5G shit is the reason why a lot of people are getting sick, headaches, all types of stuff.
This whole situation. I think about life, we all know because we've all experienced it. It's the talent, it's just of love. Something ain't right.
Something ain't right.
The moment I saw the footage, I knew something was off. Never have we been allowed to watch things that are gory like that. Nonetheless, see them on the internet and spread through social media and been
She
shown
always
through the
does
news
her
prior
TikToks
to
like
the
that.
Butler rally, which I also think was either fake or something was very wrong. And now all of a sudden, the mainstream media is jamming this down our throats. It's causing a ton of division. There are people with God-given discernment that are sensing that something is wrong with it, knowing what we know about the world stage, and then there are others who are quick to blindly follow anything that calls itself Christianity. We are just at the beginning of the deceptions. If you can't stop and take a second to analyze something or pray on it or ask God about it, you need to slow down. I'm just going to be honest, because you're going to be in trouble if you don't ask God about these things. This is just the beginning. I'm not going to show the things that have gone viral that are weird about it, like the book detailing it coming out the day before it happened, the GG
And that's why I'm making my business to continue to share these type of videos. I've been wanting. Hey Hassan, I've been wanting to get into this type of content. Hassan will tell you that. Me and him have conversations like this here and there. So I'm happy that you showed up, Hassan. Because this is about the the stuff, the conspiracies and all the stuff that's been going on in the world. But I think it's important for me, especially since I be in spaces where a lot of times we get distracted because we're watching a lot of the drama and stuff. I don't think a lot of people are really paying attention to what's going on. And I don't think people are really aware of, things, general things that's going on all across the world, not just our country. And I think that, maybe if they come and watch me, they'll come across these videos and then they can go and follow OG Dre Reacts as well. I share him all the time on my channel. I share him on my wall all the time. Thank you for coming by again, Hassan. Thank you again, OC Girl, for being here too. I appreciate you both. Y'all the best. I can't lie. I got some good ass mods. Like I am. I'm about to go and get it. I'm about to get it from my phone right now. I'm about to get it from my phone.
Rings, like the Freemason symbols, the yellow hands. I'm not even going to bother covering that. We're going to look at his wife. So first of all, when she was 17 years old, she began working with the US military, specifically the Department of Defense and the Pentagon. Then she apparently got an invite to be in a pageant, which she immediately won, which is something that you have to train for like years. Like pageants are not as easy as they look. And that is where she started bumping shoulders with Trump and Epstein. And then Trump eventually introduced her to Charlie Kirk. Now, let me just say, this is not me trying to be insensitive or like not caring that people die. I don't believe that anything on the world stage is real, including all politics, including things like Joe Rogan, Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk. Even before these incidents, I didn't believe that any of them were like people like us. You know what I mean? Because you just don't get that big with the type of opinions that we have. And notice how
I'm learning by watching these guys like him. I'm learning a lot about this lady. Like I didn't even know that there was a whole scandal in another country with her. I didn't know the beauty pageant that she was under was allegedly, ran by Trump. Like I didn't know. I had no idea. And this is what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it's time to get aware about some things. I'm going back to work. I'm going back to my professionalism.
yeah, they'll speak against Israel, but they all promote Catholicism.
Something about some missing kids and how she was kicked out the country or kicked out of their organization or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. She might bring it up. Let's see.
Very heavily and have Vatican ties. And honestly, I used to really like Candace Owens. I don't want this to be true, but you can't tell me that she does the research that she does and yet is a Catholic and married to a high-level Jesuit. I mean, really think about it. If you watch her episodes, she's having like people that are supposedly ex-CIA people like exposing the CIA secrets to an audience of like 5 million. I don't think so. That's not going to happen. They're not going to allow that to happen. You know who else is trained by the Jesuits? Erica Kirk. And isn't it interesting that she posted this long thing about life, weirdly enough, is a countdown you don't get forever, August 20th. There's your disclosure. Charlie Kirk's usernames are Charlie Kirk 11. I know a lot of you guys have probably seen the 3 hats lined up where it adds up to 11, 11, 11. And then it makes 33 like on the shooting footage. So just take note of her eye color and what her eyes look like. And I'm going to show you some stills from videos of her talking, both recently and a few months ago. That's weird. Her eyes are yellow. I'm sorry, but if you don't see what's wrong with these, you don't have discernment. They are literally reptilian. They're up and down like almonds, and they're yellow. I mean, you don't have to have sharp discernment to look at these and be like, okay, this is weird. And when you go frame by frame, the majority of them, her teeth are like razor sharp. This woman has like a perfect smile. You can't tell me that this is like just blurry footage or something. So this eye is yellow and that one's red and like reptilian when she has bright blue eyes. I didn't alter this footage. You could go and do this yourself. Just go to her Instagram and look at the footage and slow it down. The teeth, again, and this one was a few months ago, so way before the media circus. Not only are the eyes really weird, but again,
Oh, you've been put on. That's probably why he popped up in my algorithm then, because he randomly popped up in my algorithm, and I've just been watching him since. So it's probably, you might be the reason why he popped up in my algorithm, to be completely honest with you, because I definitely follow your channel. So I don't know how the algorithm works, but he just popped up out of nowhere, and I've been watching him since. And I seen what you said. Drop the link. I'll do it the next time. I'll just be nervous somebody's going to freaking bomb me or something like that. Yeah, he's cool. He's cool. Like, I really like his channel. Like, this is actually the stuff I want to get into, like, for real.
Like some kind of AI footage. People zoomed in. The guy wasn't even holding a weapon. Like the whole thing was just really weird. There were people that pulled up different instances where it's the same exact girl, and they claimed that like she had like some kind of brutal death. She had a whole bunch of like pictures and videos where she had the MK Ultra stuff all over her, like the monarch butterflies and like doing like hand symbols and stuff like that. And then her last name doesn't exist. It was only her and one other person in the entire world that has that last name. The last name translates to from the ditch. The first name is the name of a Celtic goddess, which is fine, but it also means peace. So as a whole, it means peace from the grave. And spiritually, I don't care who calls me a conspiracy theorist. This is the truth. When they're telling you to say a phrase or say a name, or they intentionally push something to trend, that is because they need to siphon all of our energy to complete a ritual. They need to siphon everybody's energy. Anger, fear, anxiety, any type of stress helps them move forward if they can direct it where they want it to go. So they want you to say this name that means peace from the ditch or the grave over and over and charge it with negative emotions. A day or two before this whole thing happened, he posts this.
Okay, everybody, you've probably heard the situation that happened in North Carolina. Say the name Irina Zarutska. Irina Zarutska was just riding public transit, by the way.
He goes on to say the name like 2 or 3 more times in that clip. Why would they so directly be like egging you on to say the name and be upset? Same thing with Elon Musk. Do you really think that these bigwigs care about the little people? Why is it so specific when they do care? If you read the book, The Art of War, we are basically living that out, and most people are falling into it 110%. Because what's happening is they're basically neutralizing their opponent very effectively because of the lack of discernment. A lot of Christians mix their faith with politics. People yell at me for talking about it, but I'm trying to pull people out of the fire. Politics are not real. People are attaching their faith and their walk with God with a political activist that's on the world stage.
I'm supposed to be editing a deep dive right now, but I had to take a break for a second and just like chat with you guys about this because like, what is going on? Why is there a pattern of people who are within our current administration having wives or partners either pass away mysteriously or disappear? It's a pattern. Example 1, Donald Trump. Ivana mysteriously fell down the stairs to her demise just a few decades after Jeffrey and Donald Trump joked around about Donald Trump throwing Marla Maples, his wife at the time, down the stairs once he found out that she was pregnant with Tiffany. That joke curiously manifested into his first ex-wife's reality. And let's not forget, Ivana accused Donald Trump of R-word during their marriage in her divorce filings, as well as obviously infidelity. RFK Jr., Secretary of Health and Human Services, his wife Mary allegedly took her own life back in 2012, not long after she discovered her husband's journal that he used to keep track of his affairs, and then he would rate how that woman was in bed based on his enjoyment next to their name. And also, RFK Jr. began a full-blown relationship.
I'm not just gonna let that go by like that. So he kept notes on the bitches that he slept with and then rated them. Like, what the fuck? Oh God, here comes my cat.
Relationship with Cheryl Hines while he was still married to Mary. He was just overall horrific to her. And let's not forget, she took her life via a rope, and when she was found, her fingers were wedged in between the rope and her neck as if she were trying to pull herself up. She either changed her mind or it was not her choice. Paul Zampoli, part of the current administration, special envoy, United Nations diplomat, the man who brought Melania to the United States to marry Donald. His wife has been missing since June. Amanda started out as a Brazilian teen model and met Paulo and came to the United States, where she began working for ID Models, Paulo Zampoli's modeling agency. And she would somehow end up on Jeffrey's flight logs back when she was just 17 years old. And she would later
If you guys would like to watch the rest of that, I dropped the link in the chat to his channel. Now, this is another thing that I am also very, very interested in. And I thought that we can watch it. I did not watch this. I don't know why it's saying I did, but I did not watch it.
It's things that no one ever.
Podcast with any of these creators, please give them a subscribe, because it's one in particular that we are using a lot of their videos because they have a podcast that is very much so Savannah based. I believe they're based out of Savannah. So make sure that you are subscribing over here on YouTube and following them over on TikTok. This first creator goes underneath the handle of Kennedy, and she is telling the history of Savannah, Georgia, and why it's haunted as hell, because context really matters whenever we're talking about a portal.
If you think New Orleans is spooky and filled with all kinds of supernatural stuff, then you must never been to Savannah, Georgia. Let's talk about it. Now, Savannah is actually known to be the #1 most haunted city in America. And a lot of people can confirm that the city is beautiful by day and far more sinister by night. And a lot of people have questioned over the years, what is it about Savannah that captures all these different souls and spirits and trapped them there? Like, why do they stick around? But y'all do gotta realize there has been several bloody battles, all kinds of deadly diseases, and lots of mysterious murders that has taken place in Savannah, Georgia over the years. Until the start of the Civil War, Georgia's first city was very dependent on slave labor. And Savannah played a huge role in the Atlantic slave trade. So you gotta think, all these different slaves from all different parts of Africa is coming here, bringing their religion, their culture. They're doing voodoo and hoodoo and practicing all this different stuff in this one city. So that means the city got a lot of culture and history and a lot of pain and torture as well. But in Savannah, you can also do lots of different ghost tours and just tour these different haunted bed and breakfasts and hotels. I actually used to live near Savannah, so I've did a few of the ghost tours. And when I tell y'all, at nighttime, the city has this very heavy feeling, and it is actually very creepy. And people from all type of paranormal investigation shows have traveled to Savannah and stayed at these different haunted locations. And it's a lot of weird stuff that goes on, especially at night and in downtown. But let me know if you've ever visited Savannah, Georgia, if y'all want to hear more stories about the different haunted locations here.
Much shit has gone down in Savannah historically that those ghosts are never going to rest, unfortunately. I mean, there's going to be other TikToks that I put in here that legitimately explains how when you walk down the sidewalks in Savannah, that some of the bricks that you're walking on are unleveled because there's bodies under there. This place is absolutely diabolical, and it doesn't help that is so much history that contributes to its hauntings. I don't think these spirits will ever rest. This next creator goes under the handle of Mo on the Go, and she is giving out her playlist, if you will, of the most haunted places in Savannah, Georgia. If you're wanting to do ghost tours, etc., when you visit, if you visit, and she said something very interesting, and I have to agree with, but we'll talk about it after the video.
If you love ghost stories and Southern charm, Savannah's calling your name. It's ranked as the most haunted city in the U.S. for a reason, so let's delve into Savannah's haunted side. I kick things off with a ghost tour through Sixth Sense, where every house has a haunting and every street has a story. Let's just say I didn't sleep so great after this one. Next is Bonaventure Cemetery, which might be one of the most beautiful cemeteries I've ever seen, and also one of the eeriest. This place is full of legends and is a well-known filming spot for Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. Up next is the Sorrel Weed House. Some say it's one of the most haunted homes in America, filled with an 8-foot-tall mystery shadow man, disembodied voices, and cold spots. This one's not for the faint of heart. And of course, the Mercer Williams house. If you've read Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, you know the story gets dark. It's filled with murder and multiple fatal accidents surrounding the house. Savannah is filled with haunted history, chilling tales, and beauty wrapped in mystery. So make sure to like this video and follow along for more adventures as I make my way through all 50 states.
One thing that she said that I found very interesting and to be the truth while researching this video, because I've never been to Savannah, Georgia. I'm sorry, my cat is having an exponential crisis. But one thing that I can say is that it seems like every street, every sidewalk, every part of Savannah, Georgia has a story. And the ghosts make sure that the story is known. This place is haunted as hell. I promise you, this may be the most haunted location that I've ever covered. Even more haunted than LA, haunted than Vegas. I don't know, y'all. I really have always wanted to go, but I'm a little, I don't know. This next creator, I'm pretty sure, is over here on YouTube. I know in the beginning of this video, I said if they have YouTube pages, please follow them. They go under the most haunted city on earth, and they have a podcast over here on YouTube. And the content is tea. It is tea. They have had some wonderful guests. Some of their guests have been featured on our page before, and they are giving the history or even the lore behind Spanish moss, which is native to Savannah, Georgia, and grows everywhere down there. And I just want you to listen to what they say.
Spanish moss does not grow where innocent blood was shed.
Innocent blood was shed. And the funny thing
Which
is there,
romantic.
there is a correlation that iron does affect how whether or not Spanish moss does grow. And so any blood that put a sufficient amount of iron into the soil could cause differentiations in how the moss grows. So that's not an entirely like made up thing. It's just something that got fine-tuned over time.
Yeah. It's a much more poetic way of saying that.
Right. There's no moss in the trees in Johnson Square either.
For a different
which
reason.
Is one square up, and everybody's like, but what I find intriguing of Wright Square is it's not the whole square. There is Spanish moss, oftentimes in the southeastern corner of those trees. Now, the reason why that's interesting is Spanish moss is incredibly invasive and very contagious in trees. That is more suspicious than anything else, that there would be trees without Spanish moss when there are trees present with Spanish moss. Like, if none of them have Spanish moss, there are explanations. There are soil conditions. There are all kinds of things that you could claim is affecting it. But to have trees with Spanish moss alongside trees without it, that's just baffling.
The fact that our boy, because I don't know his name, so he's our friend explained that copper, which is in blood, is like kryptonite to Spanish moss, is insane. Spanish moss can't grow anywhere that innocent blood has been shed. So I'm really surprised that they have Spanish moss.
I'm definitely
Because
going
that
to
whole
do that.
city was a portal for the transatlantic slave
Yeah,
trade.
bodies under the
And there was
sidewalk,
plenty of
child.
innocent
I don't
blood.
know.
But it just makes you think about that. I'm assuming, like I said, I've never been to Savannah. So all my Savannah people, stand up. Let me know. I'm assuming that Spanish moss is mainly in not so much in populated areas, in their backwoods, wherever. I'm not sure. So just let me know. This next creator goes under the handle of Dr. Megan Wilkerson, and she is explaining the history, like the far back history before Christopher Columbus history of Savannah, Georgia. And this probably is one of my favorite videos of the compilation because I never knew this. And, you know, I like to call myself a ghetto historian, but I've never done a deep dive into Savannah. And she clocked. She ate. Just listen to what she says. I didn't realize these were Savannah things. Well, let me tell you a story about a city they call charming. The beautiful architecture, the cobblestone streets, the live oak trees covered in Spanish moss. But beneath all that beauty lies a city built on bones.
Was digging, you know, the bulldozer, whatever, and he discovered bodies on Broughton Street.
Before Savannah was even a city, it was a bluff that looked over a river. And before Oglethorpe even stepped foot on Savannah, it belonged to Chief Tamachichi, and he was the leader of the Yamacraw people. So in 1733, when James Oglethorpe arrived with his colonists, it was Chief Tamachichi who welcomed them and shared the land. He believed that cooperation might protect his people better than bloodshed. So in 1739, when Tamachichi died, he was buried in Wright Square. They built this beautiful pyramid as a signal of respect and recognition. Over a century later, in 1883, Savannah officials destroyed Tamachichi's grave to erect a monument to William Gordon, a white Confederate general and railroad tycoon. Tamachichi's remains were displaced, the stones marking his grave were thrown away, and the leader who made Savannah possible was later pushed aside for a man who fought to keep Black people enslaved. His only remaining memorial today is this small granite boulder tucked away in the corner of Wright Square. It's not even where his original memorial used to be. So no, they didn't kill him, they erased him, and that's a whole different type of violence. And Savannah contains plenty of squares. Actually, Savannah is organized into 22 different squares. And these squares are not about charm. No, these squares are about control. These squares were surveillance tools. They made it easier to watch enslaved Africans, to track movement, and to enforce order. Soldiers and city officials used the layout to monitor plantations, to punish resistance, and to control access to the port.
I'm standing in one of the more humble squares here in Savannah, Georgia. It's a favorite for picnics and weddings. But underneath the obvious charm of this manicured garden is something that even the locals don't know.
Whitfield Square was built over a mass burial ground. This land served as a cemetery for enslaved Africans. There are no visible grave markers, but historical records indicate that there are hundreds, if not thousands, buried underneath it. Now let's take a trip to West Savannah.
Did you know that one of the largest sales of enslaved people in American history took place in Savannah, Georgia, in March 1859? This event, known as the Weeping Time, not only disrupted countless lives, but also served as a pivotal moment on the road to the Civil War.
Right off Augusta Avenue in West Savannah. Weeping Time is an event, tragic event, where 429 enslaved African Americans and African descent persons were sold for to settle a gambling debt that Pierce Meese Butler, he owned the Butler plantation down in Darien, and he had extensive gambling debts. And so in order to satisfy that, he had actually brought up 436 of those individuals, men, women, children, babies as young as 2 weeks old. They were housed in a horse stable, which on March 2nd, which is when the sale began, it started raining torrentially. It rained for the entire 2 days of the sale. And then when the last person was sold, the sun came out. And so it was called the weeping time, because it was as if God opened the heavens and he was just weeping because of this, the sale of his people.
Which was the largest slave auction in U.S. history. And River Street, the iconic cobblestones that line the waterfront, were laid by enslaved Africans. Ballast stones were used to stabilize slave ships, and once those ships arrived to Savannah, the stones were discarded. The very people they carried in chains were forced to build the city with them.
Everything happened in this 2-block radius. So this place is historical and it's also sacred. What I say is, if these cobblestones, which are ballast stones and plantation bricks, if they could tell their own story, I think they would wail. I think they would wail because they've seen it all. They were here for all of it. Even these stairs, you would hold your enslaved here, and then you go up these stairs, and then across the street is the auction block.
Today, tourists just walk across River Street, unaware that every step is a silent testimony to the people that built Savannah, but were not meant to survive it. And if you look closely at some of the bricks in Savannah's oldest buildings, you'll find something even more haunting. Fingerprints of the enslaved pressed into the clay as they hand molded each brick under the whip as children. Savannah isn't done telling its secrets even now. As the city is under reconstruction, luxury hotels are being built, streets get repaved, bodies are still being found under the soil.
They're on Broughton Street. I asked questions like, how many? About a half a block. And they had this sharpish colored covering over them that was brown. I said, that's cheesecloth. You see, there were no
Y'all, I just suddenly started getting tired. So before I fall asleep up on this thing, I'm going to get up off this thing. If y'all are interested in her, she is called the Black Cauldron. See, my cat is even telling me it's time for bed. All right, be quiet. Be quiet. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's another reason why I'm getting the fuck off here too, because I'm getting too tired and I can't pause it as much as I would like. Thank y'all for coming by for the late night. This is what I'm going to do moving forward here and there. Yes, I am going back to work, but when I have my nights off, I will be up watching this type of stuff. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go on TikTok and start looking at this stuff so I could just upload it on my channel on my own instead of uploading it from other channels. But I wanted to introduce y'all to 2 new channels that maybe y'all wasn't aware of. Yes, I'm definitely going to check out those channels as well. I'm actually going to watch one of those before I go to bed tonight. Thank y'all again for stopping by. I appreciate y'all so much, especially my mods. And if you happen to hear this on the replay, please make sure you like. If you haven't already, subscribe and leave a comment. And go over to the Black Cauldron, her channel, to subscribe to her. And go over to OG Dre Reacts to subscribe to him. And y'all will see me sharing them frequently. Let me go to bed because I can't even continue talking at this point.